Hi, this is Brett Ingram, award-winning entrepreneur, and today I want to share with you the 8 best uses for AI for solopreneurs. You know, solopreneurs have a lot to do and not enough time to do it. If you're working by yourself and you're trying to run a business, you know, one of the great things about being in today's day and age is there are a lot more businesses, there are a lot more options open to us than there ever would have been in the past because of automation, because of technology and other things. At the same time, it still is a lot to do to run a business. And to try to do that all on your own, particularly if you're part-time and you're working, but you're also trying to run a business or whatever, it can feel impossible to try to get everything done. You know, when I started out my entrepreneurial journey, I was working full-time, I was going to graduate school, and I was raising a family all at the same time. So I know about the challenges of being too busy, not having enough time to get everything done that we need to be able to get done, and yet still feeling like in order to get it going, we've got to be able to find more time to put it in there. So any and every way that we can automate and simplify is a huge advantage, and it can help get a lot more done in a lot less time. So whether or not it's just getting the business work done that needs to be done, or whether it's being able to grow faster and be able to, you know, reach our goals faster, either way, it's always better to be able to get more done in less time. And this is where AI really comes in. You know, AI has really sort of taken hold in the last year or so. Prior to that, it didn't even really exist. And then in the last year, it's absolutely exploded in terms of the number of tools, the number of engines, the uses for it, and everything else. At the same time, while it's certainly exciting and the idea of being able to use AI to run our businesses more efficiently is, you know, certainly promising, it at the same time can be totally overwhelming because there are so many options, so many engines, there's so many different ways and so many different people talking about all the different ways that we should be using it. You know, it can be a game changer for solopreneurs if we know how to use it the right way. And so because it can offer us tools and technologies that streamline our operations, enhance our productivity, and foster innovation, if we use it the right way, it can absolutely be a game changer. And so I want to simplify that. I want to cut to the chase, and I want to get right down to the heart of the best ways to use it right out of the gate. You know, there are lots of ways to use AI. In fact, you know, there's so many that it gets confusing or overwhelming. So I want to boil it down, and I want to talk about the best uses and the biggest leverage points right out of the gate. So here are the 8 best uses for AI that can help solopreneurs thrive. And then once you incorporate these, there obviously are other things that we can do and we can add on as well. But the first of them is to automate customer service. You know, customer service is a necessary function in every and any business. And it's something that ultimately can take a lot of time, but it's also something that's ultimately very important because how we treat our customers ends up getting back to us in terms of reviews, word of mouth advertising, you know, referrals and everything else. So whether we're online business, offline business, it doesn't really matter. Taking care of our customers does matter. And the problem is it can be very time consuming to try to do that all on our own, particularly if we have a customer that needs our time. The last thing we want to do is make them feel like we're trying to rush them in order to get rid of them because we have more stuff that we've got to do. At the same time, we have to make sure we have time to do everything else. So AI chatbots and virtual assistants can provide 24/7 customer support. And they can do more than just, you know, allow people to leave a question or whatever they used to do. It used to just be that there was an automated thing on your website, but all it could really do is accept a prompt from somebody, and then it would send it to your email address that you had to answer later. Now you could actually pre-program these bots with pre-existing questions and answers and allow it to route people to the right answers for the problems that they have. It can even manage bookings, it can even, you know, process orders and these kinds of things depending on how sophisticated you want to get with it. But this is going to improve customer satisfaction, and it's also going to free up valuable time so we can focus on other tasks. So there are a lot of tools out there that already do this, but basically there are some that are market ready and there are some that you would have to sort of make modifications to make it work. But the bottom line is 100% should be using it for customer service. There always might be some higher level or very unique issues that we still need to handle, but it can handle 90% of our customer service work for us. The second area is market research and analysis. Depending on what market we're in, we may not have a lot of hardcore research that we need to do. However, we still want to know who our competitors are. We still want to know what the trends are in the industry. We want to know what, technological breakthroughs are coming, what sort of, things that we want to look at in terms of our industry. And our industry at large, our industry based on where we are geographically, if we're a brick and mortar sort of, in-person business, and AI tools can sift through vast amounts of data. They can identify market trends, customer preferences, and competitive insights. Again, a lot of times we don't even need to create this stuff on our own because that information is already available to us. If we go to ChatGPT or one of these other tools and we just type in some information, it can synthesize it for us. And so that's one of the beautiful things about it. The other thing about AI is the better we get at asking it questions and giving it prompts, the better quality answers we get. So I've gone into AI before, asked a question and sort of got a lukewarm answer, and I thought, but then I thought, how else could I ask this? What other things can I do here to sort of tweak that question to get a better answer and response? And I did that, and it got even better. And so the information can help us make informed decisions, tailor our offerings, strategize where we want to go in the future, and make market positioning decisions. So those can all be very, very relevant. Another really big one for solopreneurs is content creation. Now, it doesn't matter what industry we're in, it doesn't matter what niche we're in. It doesn't matter whether we're a local business or whether we're an online business. Having content that will drive people to our site, drive people to our store, drive people to our office, whatever it is very valuable. And there's no better way to do that than use AI as a crutch, because AI now can write really, really great text. It can create awesome images. It can even make good videos now, and it's getting better and better and better. And so the key with using AI here is to make sure that we use our own personal flair when we're doing things. So not everything is so boilerplate and so generically AI. But the point is, if we customize it a little bit so it matches our brand or it matches our sort of vision or whatever else it is, then we can create a lot more content in a lot shorter time. We can get that stuff posted online, and we can start to drive traffic to either our websites, our social media accounts, or our store or shop or whatever else that we've got. And so being able to use it to create content is one of the biggest ways that we can leverage it. It will do written content like articles, like blog posts. It'll do marketing copy like ads. It can also do the images and videos. It'll significantly reduce the time and effort required to maintain an online presence and engage with our target audience. And that's hugely important. I know there are local restaurants where I live that while they're restaurants and you would think, well, that's largely an offline thing and it's largely based on people driving by and stopping into the restaurant. That's true. At the same time, you can get your restaurant in people's minds if you are doing marketing on social media in your local area that's targeted to your local area. And you could post coupons and all these other things there. And it's a highly effective way. And I know during the pandemic, a lot of the restaurants in my area started to do those kinds of things, and it helped them be more successful. Another way that we can use AI is in digital marketing and search engine optimization. So again, we want to be able to market. We want to be able to get our word and our offerings and our, sites and links and products and all that stuff out there. And AI can optimize digital marketing campaigns and can improve search engine optimization strategies. SEO can be a very complicated sort of beast to understand and to master, but it's also extremely valuable because what high search engine rankings give us is free organic traffic. There's nothing better than targeted traffic except free targeted traffic. And when it comes from Google or another search engine where people are typing in, keywords or searches, and our business is coming up, our pages are coming up. All of that is targeted traffic and it's all free. It sure beats advertising. They're looking for us instead of us interrupting them and hoping to get them to come to our website or into our store. And so by analyzing user behavior and search patterns, AI tools can suggest keywords. You can have it look at your website, analyze that, and suggest keywords. It can optimize ad placements. It can tell you when the most effective time to advertise for the type of product or service that you're offering is. And it can personalize marketing messages to increase visibility and engagement by letting it get familiar with your actual target market and the area that you're operating in if it is geographically limited. Another area that AI can really help us is in the financial management and forecasting. So again, if we have a small business and we're solopreneurs, we're not spending a lot of time. It's not like we have a massive budget or we have an entire accounting department or finance department or any of these other things. But the fact of the matter is, finance is an element of business that's hugely important because we have to be able to afford and finance all the business operations that we want to be able to run. If we don't have the money to be able to do it, and we don't have forecasts to let us know where we're going to be, it's very hard to make educated decisions and know where to deploy our resources in the most effective way. So AI applications in financial management, we can do automated invoicing, which is great because it saves the trouble if we need to do invoices for our business of having to create those. It can do expense tracking. It can track all the expenses from something and add it up, and it can predict future revenue trends. If we give it all the data historically from what we've been doing, it can actually forecast and figure out what the probability is of our next month's sales or revenue or profit or whatever else. So again, they're guesstimates, but the fact of the matter is it's based on historical data, so it has a lot of validity to it. And this will help solopreneurs manage finances more efficiently and make better strategic decisions because in general, most solopreneurs are pretty cash strapped. And so we don't have money to just throw at every single thing that we want to do. We have to be very picky and very particular about where we're spending our money, where we're allocating our resources, and what we can afford to spend on the various elements of our business. And so if we can really make that efficient and we can really cut out all the fat and make sure that we're spending it every single dollar in its highest and best possible use, we maximize our possibility of success. Another area that AI is hugely valuable, and this is another, in my opinion, one of the top couple, along with the idea of content generation, and that is productivity and organization tools. One of the toughest things as a solopreneur is being able to stay productive and stay organized. Staying busy is easy, but busy is not the same as productive. Productive is getting things done that need to be done, that move the ball down the field and get us closer to our goals. Busy is just, I got a lot of stuff to do. Whether it's looking at emails, cleaning out my inbox, those things are not necessarily productive, but they're busy. And organization, in terms of the structure that we have things, processes, systems for all the stuff that we're trying to do. And the more systems that we have in place, the easier it is for us to replicate success, minimize rework and duplication of work, the easier it is for us to hire, scale, and outsource, and the easier it is for us to identify weak points, problems, and leakages in our systems so we can patch those up while they're small, so as we grow, we maintain a lean ship and that we're able to stay productive and stay effective and profitable, which is obviously hugely important as a solopreneur. So AI-driven productivity tools can actually manage our emails for us. There are productivity tools that will scan emails and let us know based on our own behavior which ones should be saved, which ones should be junked. And obviously these things all need to be sort of vetted. We have to then verify and make sure it's working the right way. But the fact is, it can absolutely manage our emails for us, so we don't need to be doing that manually, cleaning out all the spam and all the promotional emails and all that other stuff. It can also schedule appointments for us. One of the great things about AI is it has the ability to do that and prioritize tasks. So it can help us in terms of staying organized and knowing what the most important high leverage things are to be doing with our own time every single day. And so those tools, when we're using AI in conjunction with these things, can actually learn our preferences over time. And so it can offer personalized suggestions to help optimize our workflow and our time management. And that is hugely, hugely valuable. It can also help us provide personalized product or service recommendations, right? So if we are offering products or services online, one of the things that AI can do is it can analyze customer data and it can provide personalized recommendations. What's brilliant about that is not only does it improve the customer experience because they're getting recommendations that seem like we really know them, understand them, and know what it is that they want and what they're trying to accomplish, what their pain points are and what the things are that they want to be able to improve in their lives. But it also lets us do that in an automated way where we don't need a salesperson to get to know each customer individually and be able to sort of pitch them on the things that we think are the right things for them to want to buy as upsells, cross sells, whatever else. And so what that does is it ultimately leads to increased sales and it leads to increased customer loyalty. And those are huge in today's day and age because ultimately, as the world gets smaller and things get more and more connected, competition keeps intensifying and there's more and more online players in the market, it becomes more and more difficult to differentiate. So the better we're able to do that with our customers by letting them feel like we know us, the better off we're going to be. I remember I bought a product, and I think this was probably about a year ago. I don't even, to be honest with you, remember what the product was. But I remember starting to get some emails from the company. And some of the emails I got were things that, made a lot of sense. And I thought, geez, I don't want this extra product that they're pitching or whatever it is, but it's still, I understand why I got it based on what I bought. And so this was kind of neat. And then I noticed I got a couple more emails and they were totally off the wall. They were things that had nothing to do with what I was trying to accomplish, what I bought the product for, or anything else. And immediately what that did is it said to me, I'm just a number. It said to me, this company doesn't care about me. This company doesn't know about me. Now, obviously, somebody was probably not behind the keyboard thinking, this particular guy, Brett, probably really wants this dog collar. They just had things automated. But the fact of the matter is, they had it done in a way that was so shotgun in its approach that it was just trying to sell everything to everybody. And it wasn't particularly focused or honed. And so for the customers like me, it actually was a turnoff. It's not like I refuse to do business with them again, but I don't have any loyalty. If somebody came in with a better offer, I'd be quick to jump. Whereas if everything I thought they said fit me perfectly, I would have been much more aligned with wanting to keep doing business with them. And a final area that we can use AI for solopreneurs is in cybersecurity, right? Cyber threats are more and more sophisticated and more common. And the problem with that is while the likelihood of getting attacked by a cyber attack is low as a solopreneur, the consequences are devastating. I've had my servers go down twice when I was starting out, and I wasn't really prepared for it. I didn't have sort of a disaster recovery plan or anything else. I didn't really know what caused it. So I had to have developers scramble to try to figure out why my servers were down. I had to go down right during a product launch. So literally I flipped the switch, sales and traffic are coming in. I spent 2.5 months getting this launch ready. And then for the first 45 minutes of the launch, the page was down with a DDoS attack. And so I was literally out of business for 45 minutes. I don't even know how many sales that cost me. The fact of the matter is, AI can provide advanced security measures for solopreneurs because it can monitor for unusual activity and potential vulnerabilities. So that way it can alert us to things that might be issues. It can also help us protect sensitive information and prevent data breaches, which again, while we are smaller targets if we're solopreneurs because it's not as juicy to a hacker, the fact of the matter is we also have far less sophisticated security. And so we're much more vulnerable in that way than maybe a big company would be. So those are the primary ways that I think are the most important for solopreneurs to start using AI right away. Some may apply more or less to you and your particular business, but you should incorporate as many as possible as quickly as possible. Because again, there are many ways to use AI to help us as entrepreneurs. In fact, every new AI model and engine that gets rolled out offers us more and more ways to use it. But the key is to not get overwhelmed or confused. It's to keep it simple and start with the clear and obvious ways to use it that free up the most time possible. As we start to scale, it's easier to unlock new ways to use it to do even more. So the takeaway here is that implementing AI in these areas for solopreneurs is an absolute must and can significantly boost efficiency, improve the customer experiences, and provide valuable insights for us as solopreneurs, making it easy to compete with more established and larger businesses and maximize our probability of success.